I'm gonna do a couple more videos. Good morning, everyone. Just because I think there's no transparency in this process right now, and without transparency, that's how feelings of injustice start to bubble up. Feelings leading towards conspiracy starts to bubble up, and and just feelings of not being heard starts to bubble up. So that's one of the biggest problems I have right now with the way the state of Illinois has administered this cannabis dispensary license process, and basically just the whole industry, how they've gone about bringing cannabis into legality in Illinois. I didn't really want to say anything. I was hoping that, and this is me back 2 years now counting, that we get this license, and then we work from within as already established industry professionals. We work from within to fix what's outside, right? Or help fix, because it's a process. But now it's like, oh, we're out now, so I can just kind of say anything I want. Like, I believe, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but let's let the cat out the hat now. So first thing, it's probably not a good idea, in my opinion. After doing a lot of research, it's probably not a good idea to do a capped license structure in Illinois for cannabis cannabis dispensaries. Just because you're shutting out people by doing that probably are selling cannabis right now. That's called illegal cannabis, right? So the illegal market, the illicit market, pretty much gets shut out. A lot of them do. So they're gonna keep selling. More to that point, if you cap the licenses, well, who's gonna apply for the licenses? I mean, big money applies for the licenses. So even more than that, now you're saying, we want to make a industry that was illegal for over 100 years, or since the 100 years, because there's speculation about all that too. But a plant that has been illegal in this country for a long time and has caused a lot of harm. That illegality of it has caused a lot of harm in a lot of communities, right? So now we're saying, hey, we're gonna legalize it, but we're gonna pretty much shut down the ability of people that were hurt from it to enter the market in a legal way. If you really wanted to help be a social equity program, you would want to have unlimited licenses. That way anybody can get in, and basically it's about experience, knowledge of cannabis, and execution, right? You let people in. Hey, you pay a fee to apply. If you pass your background, you're pretty much in. And then let's let capitalism and the free market decide who's the best and who can stay in the market. But this way, the Illinois did it, and a lot of states are doing it, is basically saying, hey man, we're gonna legalize cannabis, and yeah, let's let the big money boys from Walmart or Walmart won't do it now, but they'll do it sooner or later. But like big money, like that kind of big money, get in, and then let's say, hey, we're gonna be nice and let social equity get in as well. But they gotta follow certain rules to get in. And it's a complicated rule system that you got to follow to get in. So how are we gonna have social equity if you're making people go through all these hoops and loops to get in, and yet The only hoops and loops Big Money has to do to get in is the money. Do you have the money to pay for your application? To be done for you? To be executed for you? Sure, some of the people that are bringing the money to the table have some business know-how. That most likely they do a lot, some of them. But very rarely would it be aligned with the illegal cannabis industry and that kind of know-how. So that's just a little mini rant on my feelings about how how you can produce an equitable cannabis market anywhere, because cannabis is being sold illegal anywhere in this world. So if you're gonna legalize it, you shouldn't cap it. You shouldn't cap licenses and make it a thing that you have to have a certain amount of money to a lot of money to be able to win the license. It shouldn't be like that, because guess what? That's why an eighth of cannabis in Illinois legal dispensaries costs like 60 to 80 bucks, and have cost upwards of 100 at times, because we've made it a money thing, like we always do. We always make things about money. The state is broke. Illinois is broke. So of course, hey, we gotta get these big boys in here that got money to feel like they need to make mad profits, and then we gotta tax them. And then we gotta tax them, and hopefully that will fix our pension systems and our Chicago public school problems and our infrastructure problems. Like cannabis isn't gonna fix any of that by itself. So it's foolhardily too to think that, but whatever. So yeah, 7 minutes. I really didn't want to go that long, but that's the starters. Tomorrow I'll try. By tomorrow, by the next couple days, I'll try to put up a more informative video that's not more rants, but more like, hey, this is how the application was set up, and how it changed and transformed and morphed throughout the process of 2 years into what we see now as Illinois basically changing rules willy-nilly just to make sure that they get that quota of social equity, and then shutting out all the rest of social equity. That's basically what I feel happening. And that's what we will be talking about in the upcoming videos. So if you ever have a feeling that you want to get into a business that may not exist right now but could exist in the future, and especially if it's a business that has been stigmatized negatively, I think that's maybe the same, means the same thing, but whatever. If it's a business like cannabis and you're trying to get into it, maybe it would be helpful to check out the next couple videos so you can see the process, that a process of many, because every state does it differently, but every state is trying to bring in social equity. And now Illinois is touting themselves as the best at doing social equity. So I have mixed feelings about that, based off of their lack of transparency and at the end of the process. They're doing pretty good at being a little bit transparent, a little bit here and there, but not really. There was still a mystery, a puzzle. You had to interpret yourself for some reason. That's how they set it up. You know, you would think they want to help social equity. Well, hey, tell us exactly what you want. Exactly. Don't leave it up to interpretation. Or when you leave it to interpretation, now it's time to bring lawyers in. So now there's more money that a social equity group has to build up in order to create this application, which is fine. Hey, you should be bringing in money to do any business. But when you make it if you make it extremely difficult to bring about that business, then how can you be saying that you're trying to help people that have been disproportionately impacted by the war on drugs? If they need that help, it's because they probably don't have a lot of money. So Luckily, we didn't spend a lot of money on our application because we spent less than I think it was like $6,000 to $8,000 on the whole thing, including application fee. I think maybe there's other groups that spent that amount of money. I find it highly unlikely because we did it on very cheap. That's very cheap. 8,000. If it was 8,000, that was a steal. To get the points, we got 212. We put together a team of 8, 9. Gotta count it again. A lot of us. This was a lot. But each and every one of us brought something to the table that application needed. And we came together with our names, with our experience, with our knowledge to create an application that we were getting charged over $100,000 to create with consultants. Plus the fees, it would have been over 120 easily with lawyers involved and accountants. So we did it on the cheap, and we still got one. We lost by 1 point. So my point in saying that is that that's what it took to be able to make a cheap application, an affordable application for cannabis in Illinois. $8,000 compared to $100,000+. So that's social equity, right? We'll see.